Episode 2 of Agatha All Along wraps up with Agatha's new coven starting their journey on the Witch's Road, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. The show kicks off with Agatha still stuck in a hex, similar to what we saw in WandaVision, where she imagines herself as a tough detective. But when more characters are introduced, she snaps out of it and realizes her powers are gone. To get them back, she forms a coven with other witches, and they set out to walk the Witch's Road. The Witch's Road is a magical realm that's key to the show. It's where magic users go to recover something important they've lost. For Joe Locke's character, this likely ties into his mysterious backstory. For Agatha, it's about getting her powers back, especially since Aubrey Plaza's character, Rio Vidal, is threatening her life. By the end of episode 2, the coven takes off their shoes and starts walking down the Witch's Road, setting up a spooky and mysterious season for the series. At the end of episode 2 of Agatha All Along, Agatha's coven descends a spiral staircase that leads to the Witch's Road. After checking out their surroundings, they start walking down the road. But one of the most interesting parts of the scene is when the characters take off their shoes before they start walking. This raises a big question. Why do they need to be barefoot for this journey? Surprisingly, the answer to this is hidden in the end credit scene. If you look closely behind the credit for series creator Jack Schaefer, there's a passage that explains why witches take off their shoes before walking the Witch's Road. Ye shall remove your shoes before touching the hallowed ground. In order to connect to the power of the earth, you must touch your feet to the soil and channel her divine magic through you. There must be nothing in between, no rubber or wood, not a soul, just your soul. This is a creation for Agatha All Along, though has some connections to real-world religious practices relating to paganism. A big element of paganism is a reverence for nature, with many who practice these beliefs walking outside without shoes to better connect with the natural world. Agatha All Along was likely inspired by this practice, with the witches walking the Witch's Road barefoot to connect to the power of the realm around them. The Witch's Road being the main setting of Agatha All Along is super exciting for a few reasons, especially because of its importance in Marvel and its deeper meaning. In Marvel Comics, the Witch's Road plays a big role in Scarlet Witch's story. In one of her solo comic runs, Wanda walks the Witch's Road to figure out what's causing a sickness that's messing with witchcraft, and she's helped by the ghost of Agatha Harkness. Eventually, they meet the goddess of witchcraft and chaos, two extremely powerful beings, and they work together to fix the problem. Beyond its role in the comics, the Witch's Road is packed with symbolism. The idea of walking a literal or spiritual road to find something important at the end represents the characters' personal journeys. For Agatha and her coven, the Witch's Road will definitely be full of dangers and challenges, symbolizing the personal struggles they'll have to face. The Witch's Road also brings to mind the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz. In that story, Dorothy has to follow the yellow brick road to go on her adventure, which parallels Agatha's journey. Plus, just like in The Wizard of Oz, what the characters find at the end of the Witch's Road might not be what they expect. In the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along, there are several references to Agatha's supposed first journey down the Witch's Road, but Agatha seems distant and avoids the topic. This raises the question of whether she's actually walked the Witch's Road before. From what we've seen so far, it looks like she hasn't. The first clue comes from the musical number at the end of episode 2. When the ritual doesn't immediately open the door to the Witch's Road, Agatha doesn't seem surprised. It's revealed that she wanted to provoke the other witches into attacking her, hoping to restore her magic. But after that, she's visibly shocked when a portal suddenly opens in her basement, and she's even more surprised when the door seals shut behind her. Catherine Hahn's acting really sells this. She gives Agatha a mix of shock, wonder, awe, and fear when she sees the Witch's Road for the first time, though she tries to hide it with a calm, unfazed attitude. One of the more intriguing parts of Agatha All Along's premiere is the different animals Agatha keeps seeing. Each time she spots one, whether it's a rat in a mall, a crow outside Lilia Calderou's store, or a coyote in Westview, she reacts with panic or fear, and ominous music plays in the background. It turns out these animals aren't just random. They're actually the other forms of the show's central villains, the Salem Seven. The Salem Seven are mentioned in the end credits and seem to be the main threat Agatha's coven will face on the Witch's Road. In the comics, the Salem Seven also have the ability to shapeshift. While the MCU changes what they can transform into, the overall concept stays the same. In Episode 2, the Salem Seven use their animal forms to warn Agatha that they're coming, which leads to their appearance at the end of the episode. What makes this even more interesting is that the Salem Seven could have a deeper connection to Agatha, potentially hinting at more storylines in a possible Season 2 of Agatha All Along. It's mentioned that many witches Agatha wronged before WandaVision would want revenge now that she's free from Wanda's hex, and that's why the Salem Seven are coming for Agatha. They could be connected to Agatha's backstory in the MCU, especially since she was part of a coven during the Salem witch trials in the 1600s. In WandaVision, flashbacks show Agatha being judged by her coven for practicing dark magic. As they try to destroy her, 7 witches are seen attacking Agatha before she drains their powers. It's possible that the MCU's Salem Seven are these same witches, now back for revenge. There's also a potential connection to the comics. In the comics, the Salem Seven are the grandchildren of Agatha Harkness, the children of her son, Nicholas Scratch. If Nicholas Scratch is introduced in the MCU, the Salem Seven could be revealed as his children, meaning they have a much closer and more personal connection to Agatha than we initially thought. The final big question at the end of Episode 2 of Agatha All Along is about the identity of the Green Witch in the Coven. It's still not clear what a Green Witch really is, but it's mentioned that the Coven needs one to walk the Witch's Road. Lilia Calderu notes down a black heart to symbolize this Green Witch, and while Agatha seems to understand what it means, she chooses to ignore it. From what we've seen in the first 2 episodes, it seems the black heart refers to Aubrey Plaza's character, Rio Vidal. Plaza's character initially helps Agatha escape from the hex, but it quickly becomes clear that she wants to kill her. There's some obvious bad blood between them, but there's also an underlying tension that feels romantic or sexual. It's possible that they used to be in a relationship, which could explain the symbolism of the black heart in the show and hint at Rio Vidal's return in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.